Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Commodities Update. And this is where we do analysis on natural gas, UNG, US dollar, oil, gold, and silver. We're looking at their support resistance levels, as well as the most likely scenario, what I think they would be likely heading into later next week. All right. And if you guys are looking for the stock market update video that I did yesterday on the Qs and the Mega 7s, Meta, Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Apple and NVIDIA, check out the video from yesterday. And let's get started on the commodities. So last week we were sitting pretty much right here, and I said that if we break below pretty much just this support here that we've been bouncing off of, prior resistance acting as support. Now, if we don't bounce back above that, we're likely heading a little bit lower. So we did kind of back test it, right? We bounced, back test it. Now price is under it, and it acted as resistance. So that was a clear sign for us that we're likely heading lower, because it's the very first sign that we had this big move, and it's pretty much an hourly bear flag, and then rejection of here, support become resistance, and head lower. So now the question is, where are we sitting? We're sitting right pretty much at the next level of support. It's this black line. So zoom out and take a look at that one. So this black line is pretty much this one that we have been trending on, right? Bounce, 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 3, 4, 5, and then 6 just right now. So it bounced again there 6 times, but we're sitting, we did bounce here, but we're pretty much sitting right on it. So anything can happen here. So we can get another gap down like we did over here on Sunday, and then break that level of support, and then bears will have the upper hand here. Or we just have a tiny break. Let's say we just kind of opened here, right? And then we kind of V-shape. Then I wouldn't count that as a break. That would just be a double bottom, and not much follow through from the bears, and then we continue to bounce from here. That would be what the bulls want to see. For bears, you would likely want to break below this low, or just gap below it and continue gap and go. That would be the best case scenario for bears. As now, nobody knows which way it's going to gap, especially those Sunday night gaps are very random. But we are sitting at that level support, so let's see if the bulls can actually play defense here and then bounce from there. Although if we go out to the longer term time frame, it's still a bear flag for me at this given moment. Another thing I'll be looking at is the 12-hour EMA. So this teal looking line is an exponential moving average 12. So the only reason is that because we been bouncing off of it, right? We never really closed below it. You can see on all of these on these way up, on the bounce here, on the bounce here, another bounce here, and price is now below it. So it's going to act as resistance. So we did get rejected here one time. So I'll be watching if it get rejected more often. Let's say we, the EMA comes down, we kind of bounce it to chop around here. That would be a bear flag. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be a daily bear flag at this given moment. You go from the top of the move, measure the bottom of the move. We have only retraced close to 30%, 35-ish, right? As long as it's below this yellow box, which is 38.2%, it's a bear flag, right? Big move down. Now just kind of flagging. So bulls want to at least bounce to 2.8. Break above this bear flag, 0.382 box, bounce close to 2.8. Now we have room for potential trend change back to the bulls. So let's see if they can do that, and that'll be the best case for bulls. And bears, you want to confirm this bear flag by breaking Thursday's low, and we'll likely head a little bit lower if that happens, potentially goes to this 2.5 area. All right, that is the 2 scenarios I'm looking at. And if you guys want to learn more about techno analysis or how to better your psychology in trading, how not to tilt, how not to get emotional, all that kind of stuff, go to my YouTube link, and underneath in the comments or description, there's a Patreon link, and check that out. Or if you just want to support the channel, check out the Patreon link, and let's continue. So let's look at UNG. A similar idea, right? If NatGas is going to have a bear flag, this is going to have a bear flag, and it'll likely head to potentially this closer to this 14.3 range. If that bear flag ends up confirming, breaking Thursday's low. For the bulls, similar idea. You want to negate that bear flag and come back at least close to this 15.5 to retest and head higher. That would mean that the NatGas broke above that 50% mark, which would make UNG go to closer to this 15.5 range. All right, let's take a look at US dollar. So big bounce here after this. We got that rate cut. This was heading down, and now market's like pricing in for less of rate cuts. So it was pricing almost up to like 2.75%. Now it's only like around 2, or now it's around like 3 or 3.25. I can't remember. But it's pricing in less rate cuts as of lately. So you can see the dollar is moving up because of that. And we pretty much just had resistance. So 103 point, yeah, pretty much 103. This is current resistance that it's trying to test. No signs of slowdown yet, right? Go up, bull flag right there. Bull flag confirmed. Another move up, and now it's kind of going sideways. So no signs of slowdown as of yet. And if it goes up, then I'm looking at 106, 103.6. If we can break this Thursday's high. If we do pull back from here, no big deal. It could just chill out a little bit, maybe go sideways, and then head a little, and maybe another bull flag. So we'll see how it pulls back. Is very will tell us what the next move will likely be. So we'll see about that. All right, let's take a look at oil here. So there's a lot of, obviously we know there's a lot of economic issues around the world and a lot of geopolitical issues. So that definitely affects oil. So if those things escalate, your technical analysis on oil isn't going to do much because, right, something escalates and it's just going to pop, right, all of a sudden. So, but we do still have levels to look at, right? Very clear. This high was made pretty much just right underneath this high, right? This structure is high, which it did make here as well on August 12th, exactly the same high. So it's double top right underneath the structure, currently acting as resistance. And we did pull back for a few days. Now we're just back testing again at this level, right? Very clear level, a lot of resistance here. Resistance, 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 same level of resistance, resistance, resistance. Bulls are still okay. So as long as bulls are trading in the upper range of their bounce, they have no red flags, right? Big bounce. Now higher low being set. Let's see if they can make a higher high. So if they break above this Monday's high, that's daily uptrend confirm, and we'll likely come up to test potentially closer to 80, 81, in my opinion. If we can break Monday's high, if we don't, and this kind of starts rolling over and breaks Wednesday's low, that's a red flag. And that's a daily downtrend back in bearish favor. Then we'll likely potentially come back close to 71.6 if we do break this Wednesday's low. Those are the two scenarios I'm looking at for oil. But if you're trading oil, you definitely want to be watching geopolitical news for sure, 100%. And gold is still all-time highs. Talked about this forever. Don't short the all-time highs, and as long as it's in all-time highs, building structures along the way, just let it, just play the bull side pretty much, buy the dips. But at this level, I mean, you can still buy the dip. It's still working as long as it keeps working. No signs of it not working until it, until we get something like a blow off top, maybe like something like this. If this came up and then we came all the way down here, then that's a blow off top. But for now, this is just healthy consolidation. So no signs of red flags yet. You can see all these on the whole entire way up, right? All these structures built, sideways structures built, break above the next sideways structure, another sideways structure built, break above that, another sideways structure built, break above that, and trend still continuing. So let's see if gold bulls are thinking about building another sideways structures here. Right? If they do that, then they break out again. Honestly, zero red flags, right? They're just cooling off the indicators when it's trading sideways, right? So it's not too overbought or anything like that. The only thing that's overbought is on the weekly. That's no big deal. They can still head higher. Yeah, as long as its trend is continuing, don't fight the trend. And right, we don't really have any resistance other than all-time highs, right? This is there. I mean, there is some resistance at 2671, which is like all these wicks, upper wicks here, but that's about it. And support You can see pretty much where we bounced off of was exactly where we rejected from this structure, right? Structure right here was 2591. Pretty much just where we, so bulls are pretty much in full control, right? Bulls are pretty much saying, well, right, where this was prior resistance, and now we're just gonna bounce off of that. And so all the bulls, pretty much every bull is in the green, unless you bought it up here at this wick. So those are the red flags. And silver is still not getting over it. Okay, so silver haven't gotten over this. Talked about this resistance last week, right here. It needs to get over this to potentially come up to 34. This is 32.5. So you can see that we wicked twice. Last week we tried it once. Thursday didn't work. Tried it again last Friday. Didn't work. And yeah, so that's the resistance we're looking at. So pull back, sideways structure. No huge red flags at this moment yet because we haven't broken below this structure. But silver is a lot more volatile than gold. So if you guys are really want to play metals, just play gold. Just size up gold. I know it moves less, but you can size up because the chart is stronger, and you'll likely won't get stopped out right underneath pivots. Right, if you're buying this, and then you set your stop loss here, right, and then you moved it up here, and you moved up here underneath the pivot, and next thing you know, you got stopped out. Versus gold, right? You wouldn't really have gone stopped out unless you moved your stop loss here before it confirmed the bull break, right? Before it confirmed breaking new highs, you don't really move your stop. So, and this chart just kind of just goes all the way up. So yeah, so we're still looking like okay as long as it's trading around this structure. If it breaks below this Tuesday's low, we're likely going to come down to this 29.75 level. And for bulls, just retest at 32.5. So you can get over that. You want to have it one day that's actually closed above it. None of these days were closed. We kind of peaked above and came below. Above that, if we can close above that, then we have a chance to potentially come up to 34. But for now, we're still really far. So we'll take it one step at a time. All right, let's take off for you guys. If you want to like, share, and subscribe, you guys made it this far or learn anything. And have a great rest of you guys' weekend. And I will see you guys. If there's anything that comes up really significant midweek, I'll update you guys either on the stock market or the commodities. But if nothing's crazy going on, I will see you guys next weekend. Have a great rest of you guys this week.